Randy,
Yes, ma'am.
did you know that loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day?
No, I did not know that.
It is. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, not the smoking part. We're going to talk about how retirement can lead to isolation very quickly.
Very quick.
One day you're surrounded by coworkers, and the next day it's quiet. So we're going to talk about community because nobody should figure out this stage of life alone.
That's true.
Laugh a little, stay a while. Retired life still makes us smile. Sheri and Randy cruising along. Welcome to Sheri, where you belong.
You need people to talk with. You need to have activities to do every day. You have to have a purpose. And sometimes, that purpose has always been work. When that goes away, then you're kind of sitting around going, ooh, now what? We're wired for connection. We love the social interactions.
Well, when we're younger, we're speeding so fast to get somewhere. When you get to a certain age, you start thinking, how many days do I have left? How many weeks? How many months? It just automatically happens. I know it does to everybody.
I was telling you, I got good maybe 20 years left, and you got mad at me.
Well, just because, you're putting a number on it, which to me is kind of scary too, because then every day you're thinking, okay, there's a year gone, but you could live to be 90 something.
Well, there's depression, there's,
Yes.
Physical health, there's also cognitive decline when you don't have social interactions. There's a lot of different ones. I'm telling you, when I lived in Ohio, there was a friend of mine who lived or worked in a community type place like that. And I would go visit her for lunch or whatnot. And the whole bottom floor was like a mall. It really was. They'd have one section where people went and got their hair done. Then you go down a little bit further, and there was like little boutiques where you can go and you can buy things. And then down a little further, like a little mini 7-Eleven. And then go down a little further, and there'd be like a whole area where people can do arts and crafts. And then there was like a movie theater. The dining room area, they had a guy in there playing piano, and people playing poker and card games and whatnot. These were people that were functioning. They weren't on assisted living. And they'd get in their cars and go to Walmart next door or whatever if they needed to. But it was that kind of community.
The room was beautiful, and we were so impressed with everything there. But only a certain amount of people can stay in that place. You got to have a lot of money. But still, 10 grand a month. If you got the money, it's beautiful. It really is.
The statistics is that 1 in 3 seniors, though, report being lonely.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. But not many people get to live like that. Some people go back to their own home by themselves. The kids come by once in a while.
But the statistics are that seniors with strong social ties have a 50% greater chance of longevity.
There's a lot of people out there so lonely. Their kids don't take care of them. They don't give a hoot, which is really sad.
Give a hoot. It's all different. And some people hate each other.
I go back to that lady that was in the hospital when Connie was in the hospital. Connie's my wife. And she was all by herself. She walked in sick. Nobody there to take care of her, to visit her. I helped her that night to called a nurse for her. And I didn't think much of it. Come back in the morning, she was gone, dead. She passed away. I was so sad. Nobody with her. It was sad. I'll always think of that. That's always going to be in my mind. So I used to die alone like that. It's got to be. So we're lucky.
And that's why it's so important to have a community and that kind of social interaction when you get to a certain age. Your kids get married, go off and live their lives. You see people all the time walking their dogs.
Yeah, I see dogs everywhere in the stores. Everywhere. It's great because that way a lot of animals are getting homes.
And if you live alone, it's great to have a companion.
Yeah.
It's just someone to talk to.
We all want to be loved.
Yeah.
We have each other. We have a family. Friends. I have good friends.
And there's all kinds of different types of community. There's independent living. There's retirement communities, assisted living, senior centers. There's church groups you can belong to, volunteer groups, and also living with family, which is what we're doing. And you need to have some kind of connection because it matters more than where you're at, that you have connection with somebody. There's some people who don't like living in a 55 plus community. I was online and one woman was talking about it. She has a YouTube page and she hates it. She can't stand living in a 55 and over community because it reminds her that you're old. Nobody comes out. She never sees anybody. The ambulance comes every day to take somebody away that has passed away. But yes, Randy is afraid of death, which is why he has a hard time looking at people the same age as him and thinking that they look old, which I think a lot of people have that problem.
In your mind, when you're walking, you look and thinking, I don't look like that. And then when you look in the mirror, go, oh, fuck, I look like that. Like you said, is getting older is hard. It really does. I work at a golf course, and I work around a lot of gentlemen that are older, even older than I am or whatever. And I swear to God, you'll talk a few minutes about golf, and next thing you talk about, man, I hurt myself here. Yes, I take pills for this. Oh, I got an appointment for that.
Right.
But you talk to somebody in their 60s, 70s stuff, it's all about medication and how many doctor's appointments you got coming and x-rays. Pills starts out with how many pills you take. He goes, oh, I used to have that problem, but yeah, it's what it is, but it sucks. Whoever said these are our golden years was a golden idiot, because they're no golden years.
One thing you need to understand, though, is that when you talk about community and you move into a community place, so if you're 55, even 75, it depends on your health. To be honest.
Your health dictates it.
And
it does.
It definitely dictates it. Many people in retirement communities, they travel, they dance, they volunteer, they date, they stay active. They're on Tinder. Swiping away. They're having a good time. You could see people line dancing with freaking knee braces on. Okay, people are out doing it, whatever they can. And that's the point. That's the point. That's the point of community. That's the point of staying active, making friends and doing things. Check out the communities that you're in. If you're going to have a hard time being in a community where there's a lot of older people and that bothers you, that might not be a place that you can move into, But you need a community, because without community, isolation can happen very slowly and quietly. People withdraw and you don't really notice it right away, but it happens. And there's a physical and mental decline also when you don't have any kind of community, any kind of social interaction. It increases the risk of anxiety, depression.
Definitely.
But if you're thinking of moving into a community, check it out and see if it's for you.
But I love it here. It's beautiful. Mountains all around us. Quiet. Only. It works for us. Could work for you.
You'll see someone in your community that looks a little lonely. Maybe they need a friend. Thank you again for joining our community and listening to what we have to say, hoping for a brand new day. And whatever journey you may be on, always remember to embrace your voice.
That's right.
See you next week.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Therapy with Sheri and Randy. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Have a great week.